Welcome to the NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Well, the last of the 8 Super Regionals to get underway right here in the Pacific Northwest. And what a matchup we have. The Liberty Flames, the talk of the softball world after knocking off the #1 seed Texas A&M last weekend. And they take on a team that overcame some obstacles of their own. The number 16 national seed Oregon Ducks from Jane Sanders Stadium in Eugene. Take a look at the bracket. Yes, Texas Tech. Nyjah Kennedy does what Nyjah does. They've already punched their first ever ticket to Oklahoma City. And the winner of this regional, Super Regional, will take on UCLA's Southern California Super Regional winner in Game 1 in Oklahoma City. Well, let's take a look at the Liberty Lady Flames starting lineup brought to you by Capital One. And Rachel Roop sends them out of the yard at a high frequency.
One of the best home run hitters in the country. And what I'm so impressed with Rachel Roop, she not only can take a pitch that's a strike out of the park, she can take one at her toes out of the park. A great bad ball hitter.
She's going to face the ace of the staff for the Oregon Ducks. What a season it's been in her first year in Eugene for Lindsey Grind. 28 wins on the season.
She has been the workhorse for Oregon, arguably the ace. You look at those number of strikeouts, top 15 in the country. She is full of emotion and energy, and this team feeds on that from Grind in the circle. And you're going to see her. She is a power pitcher, throws in the upper 60s consistently, really works a rise ball, screwball, changeup combination. And we just talked about it, that high energy and emotion she brings in the circle really leads the way for the Ducks.
Every seat here at the Jane has been sold out for the weekend. If we go to Game 3, those seats already sold on Sunday. 2,500 plus here on a gorgeous Friday night in Eugene. Clear skies. Don't want to jinx it, but no threat of rain at all. The sun's out here. Temperature nice. And it's here. Game time. Liberty, Oregon. The Super Regional from Eugene. First pitch on the way. And it is a strike, and off we go from the Pacific Northwest. Savannah Woodard leads off for the Flames. Alabama transfer. Sends that in the air towards fairly deep left field. Battling the sun. Paige Dorn is there. I should say Kai Lushar there to make the catch. Battling that sun for the first out.
And that's a big out for Oregon. Savannah Woodard, a triple threat. Very difficult to defend. Also has good speed. That's a good start for the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah, that sun a bit of an issue in left field right now. Left fielder basically looking west-northwest. We've still got a good hour and a half or so of daylight left out here on the West Coast. First pitch strike to Rachel Roop. You see the shadows as well. Kind of a sunny spot in the middle of the dirt diamond. And shade on the edges. That ball's skied high but foul. Standing room only here. 23 homers for Rachel Roop. Leads the team in most every offensive category.
Just such a polished hitter. And when you take a look at Rachel Roop and she gets into her batting stance, she does have a very unique stance. Really a wide stance, about as wide as I think I've ever seen a hitter. And we talked to her about it yesterday, and she just feels very comfortable and really feels like it minimizes her motion. No wasted motion in her swing. Keeps her power from the ground up. Works very well for her.
Aggressively fouls that pitch, and it stays at a ball and 2 strikes. First team All-Conference USA. In fact, Conference USA Player of the Year this year. 5 times was Conference USA Player of the Week, and was the first ever to win it 3 consecutive weeks. Let's roll towards third. It went foul right at the last moment. Flannery scooped that up, but almost all the way up the line. It was fair, and then took a quick left turn right before he got to the base.
Well, that's something you don't see often from Rachel Roop. Typically hits the ball in the air. She just gets great elevation in her barrel. High exit velocity. That combination has led to a lot of home runs.
It's upstairs. Roop hit safely in all 4 games at the A&M Regional, and in the 3 games against Texas A&M, the #1 seed, is where she really shined. She had 7 hits and 9 RBIs in the 3 games against Texas A&M. And a couple of home runs in the decisive game against the Aggies, and she's going to start the Super Regional off with an extra base hit. Finds the alley in right center field, and in with a slide is Roop, with her team leading 19th double of the season.
Well, Rachel Roop just hits to all fields well. This pitch on the outer half of the plate, she lets it get deep, and look at that bat speed and barrel control. Her ability to drive it to the wall. Liberty with a runner in scoring position. This team can hit. They can hit up and down the lineup. They pass the bat. Good opportunity here in the first inning.
Brings up Bryn McManus. A little bit of a homecoming for Bryn, at least for the state of Oregon. She is from McMinnville, Oregon, just a little up the road towards Portland. Went to McMinnville High School. And hits the outside corner, quickly ahead, no balls, 2 strikes.
Well, this is where Lindsey Grine really shines. The tougher the situation, the lower the ERA, the higher the strikeout. She has that ability to dig in when her team needs it most.
Slow roller to third. Runner stays at second. Roop and Flannery throws out McManus. Well, Grine gets the second out of the inning. And with 2 outs, that's going to bring up the cleanup hitter for the Lady Flames, Lisa Hinault, the DP. Back to the screen, a wild pitch will advance Roop 60 feet over to third. Roop doubled with 1 out. She's at third with 2 outs. Strike pumped in, 1-1. You get the impression from the regional in College Station and the games won by Liberty, high scoring games, and they get a lot of runs scored with 2 outs.
Now that's a team who just knows how to grind when it matters most. It's just determination, that 2-out hitting, big 2-out rallies. It's being able to put the ball in play.
Upstairs from Grine, 3 balls and a strike. Todd Richardson's team in their first ever Super Regional, trying to get on the board first.
Well, that's just pure power, and that's what Lindsey Grine can do. A little bit of upspin on the ball. It's got a late break. She gets lots of swings and misses on that pitch.
Down the left field side, fading towards foul ground. A sliding attempt by Kai Lushar. He looked just a little bit short.
Yeah, didn't seem to really get a good jump on that ball. You mentioned it, Mark. The sun really tough out there, and right off the bat, Lushar did not read that well. Took her a little time to get her feet moving.
And she's shading her eyes with her hand as well as wearing the sunglasses out there in left field. Another 3-2 from Grine. Another one, but this one will twist well out of play.
Well, this would be a huge momentum shift for Liberty if they can get it on the board in the first inning. Lindsey Grine's ERA in the first inning, one of the best in the country, 0.47 on the season.
That's foul right at home plate. You can see the catcher, Cox. You don't know if that ball was popped up or hit the ground. It was right in the dirt in the batter's box. 9th pitch of this plate appearance for Hinault coming from Lindsey Grind. This one twisting back. It will reach the seats. Didn't get in by much, just a couple of rows.
And Hinault getting a lot of faith from head coach Dot Richardson to hit in the cleanup spot. She's had good at-bats all season. Just 50 at-bats coming into this game, but she trusts Hinault, putting her in the cleanup spot. She's battling here.
10th pitch of the at-bat is ball 4. What a plate appearance there for Hinault to work a 2-out walk. And the Lady Flames have runners at the corners with 2 down.
Just good plate discipline from Hinault. Fouled off a few pitches. Never got a pitch she could really drive, but was able to hang in there and keep the inning alive. This is what Liberty does. With 2 outs, they're able to elevate, keep those innings moving, have quality at-bats. We saw it all weekend in College Station.
No doubt Richardson in her 12th season as the head coach of the Liberty Flames has taken them to their first NCAA Super Regional appearance. This year's Conference USA Coach of the Year. She also won Coach of the Year a couple of times when they were in the Atlantic Sun and when they were in the Big South. Whatever conference they've gone to, at some point they've anointed Dot Coach of the Year like they did this year in Conference USA. Well, head coach Missy Lombardi had a visit out to the circle to talk with Grind, and now we're ready to resume. KK Madry at the plate.
And this is a very difficult hitter to try and retire with nobody on base, let alone runners on base. KK Madry, one of the fastest base runners. Even with 2 outs, the infield has to play in. They have to play tight to respect her speed. That's going to open up some holes for Madry.
.412 batting average for Madry, leads the team. Of course, somebody you want to keep off base with 50 steals. Check swing, throw down to second, goes all the way through. Root coming home, is now hung up. Throw back to third, and she's tagged out. Base running error there. We've got a late start after the steal by Hinault, and the side retired.
Oregon Ducks, one of the best defenses in the country. Show you why. They shut the Liberty threat down. They're coming to bat.
Well, ahead to the bottom of the first, let's take a look at the Oregon Ducks starting lineup, brought to you by Capital One, and it really begins up top with the Lushar sisters and the slightly older one, Kai, right at the top.
And Kai is the spark plug of this offense. One of the fast base runners you will ever see this year in Division I softball. She is lightning in a bottle.
Bill Riley McCoy at first base. You see Maake is getting the start there. Riley McCoy did not participate in the workout yesterday, and her status still uncertain. There is Escobar. Elena gets the start in the circle for the Flames.
She has been the workhorse this season. 25 wins on the season. She is a competitor in the circle. Really has led her team to a lot of victories this season.
Kai Lushar starts the bottom of the first, shortens up and takes strike 1. Originally from Carson City, Nevada. Her .412 average, second on the team, only to her sister who waits on deck.
Escobar's a power pitcher, comes at you hard in the zone, 68 miles an hour, has an elite changeup, but all of her pitches have a little bit of upspin on them, little rise ball, little curve ball, everything has that little upspin, and so she creates a lot of fly ball outs, a lot of swings and misses off that upspin.
A pitcher, Carol, that's been pitching banged up for a good portion of the year. They make her defender position there, and by the time the ball gets back to her, She doesn't even have a play at first base with the speed of Kylie Shar. I was about to say she's been dealing with an Achilles injury, but it didn't matter if she were 100% healthy there. She wasn't going to get it out at first base.
And how much fun is it to watch Kylie Shar? Just beats the ball into the dirt, angles her bat down, puts the ball in the dirt, and it is a foot race. And there's not many people in the country, when you have to take a step or two to field the ball, that can throw out Kylie Shar. And it's not a matter of if, it's when she will try to steal second base.
Hey, you see the numbers: 58 steals, 65 attempts. This is a Liberty defense that's had some issues. One of those now is Watley is not playing tonight. Their shortstop. She has a issue with her throwing elbow. So Jemiah Byram is the starter at shortstop. She's started a number of times there. In fact, this will be her 20th start at shortstop. And in fact, recently, during the end of the regular season and conference tournament, she started a stretch.
Well, and immediately Liberty has shifted their defense. Byram's not even covering second base with Kedra Lushar up. It's shifted over to Woodward. Woodard is now covering second base, so immediately a shift. Now, part of that is because of Kedra Lushar's ability to also slap. She's a triple threat. But also just making that decision-making easier for Byram out there at shortstop. When you're at shortstop, there's a lot of decisions to make. When you have speed at one, speed at the plate, you've also got to field the ball. So I like this adjustment from Liberty, just taking that decision of covering the steal out of the hands of Byram, at least for the time being.
2-2 pitch, just missed. Took it away. By the way, Savannah Wiley has not been completely ruled out from playing. She is just not starting in this game. Bob Richardson saying that the elbow is an issue with throwing. So see how much time Watley gets at shortstop this weekend. Eighth pitch of the at-bat to Kedri Lushar. So a little infield hit and a walk, and both Lushar sisters are on base with nobody out.
Couldn't be a better start for Oregon, having the speed of the Lushar sisters on base, nobody out, the heart of the order up. But this Liberty team, they just don't flinch, Mark. They don't flinch. They have found a way out of these sorts of situations.
And where you would normally find Riley McCoy in the batting order, she's not playing. Hockey getting the start at first base and batting in the three-hole here. A freshman from San Diego, making her third start of the season at first base. The first two came in early to mid-February. That long ago this season. Casey Fagan is going to come out of the dugout. And the Flames have a meeting in the circle. Well, there's the head coach, Missy Lombardi, in her 7th season. You know, the early seasons for Lombardi here were really tough. I mean, the cupboard was bare. She had to deal with a lot of issues. She is this year's Big Ten Coach of the Year in year 1 in the conference for Oregon, and a chance for her to take a team to Oklahoma City for the first time here.
Well, in visiting with her about that first year here at Oregon, it wasn't what she signed up for, but it was what she signed up for, and a lot of credit goes to her. She persevered through several transfers that year, had to have some walk-on tryouts, and the version 1 team ended up being a very fun team for Coach Lombardi. Here, this version 7 team has bigger dreams.
You know, the last trip to Oklahoma City in the Women's College World Series for Oregon, their 6th overall, was back in 2018. Mike White's final year. So if they can get back, it would be the first time under Coach Lombardi. Outside to Mayake. 2 balls and a strike.
Oregon showing good patience here, really forcing Escobar to throw the ball through the zone. How many strikes so far?
Popped up, twisting back, and it'll get over the screen. And one of the great coaching jobs for Missy Lombardi came in that last game when McCoy got hurt. Came off the field, she had to address her team, and she said, hey, she walked off the field on her own. She's going to be okay, but now you got to play for Riley. It's a bouncy ball towards short. Byram goes to second, gets it out there. Byram took a look, was reading the hop, decided not hard enough to get 2, so she backed up to get a cleaner hop and got a force out at second base.
Just reading that hop. Look how deep she's playing. This ball is just beat into the ground. And it's all about footwork. Even though she backed up on the ball a little bit, which is not ideal, her feet were chopping, her feet were moving, and that allowed her to stay in rhythm and get the out at second base.
So Byram handles the first chance hit her way. Sam Marder was asking about the play at second base there.
Appeared that way. Not sure on the safe out call or just on the bobble. I wasn't really sure. They're still kind of having a conversation. And
yeah, they're talking about
she and Coach Lombardi.
They're going to use one of their challenges here to see if there was a juggle. Oh no, they're just going to pinch run here. All right. So they're going to run for Mayake. Bring in Reagan leg. Now Don Richardson comes out. So dot in the ear of plate umpire Matt Dial. And now Dot wants to talk with the third base umpire, Chad Spittler. That didn't seem like that last play was very complex or controversial, but it's led to a lot of dead time here. What's going on?
It sure has. And you know what the result is, Mark? We have an out at second base and a pinch runner at first.
Yes.
Here we go.
We could have done that in a lot tidier fashion. But here we go. First and third. With only one out for the Ducks, and the cleanup hitter at the plate, Paige Sinicki. And they're going to let the runner take second. They completely vacated. They had the wheel play on with the shortstop. Byram coming over to cover third. They said we're going to throw down there. So an uncontested swipe a second for leg. Now here's the squeeze. Shovel home late. Everybody's safe. Nobody covering second. And down to second goes Sinicki. Sinicki executes the squeeze and winds up at second base.
Well, after giving up the stolen base, the defense stayed put to defend the squeeze, but too much speed from Kylu Shar. And how about this heads-up base running from Sinicki? Even though everyone in the ballpark thinks that this is a good time to squeeze, you've got the fastest base runner, arguably in Division I at third base. When you can angle down the barrel and get the bat in front of the plate, put it in the dirt, take your chances on Kylu Shar beating that out. You're going to do that every day. Just great execution from Oregon on getting the bunt down and also
so Liberty is challenged, saying that Kylu Shar left third base early. I'll tell you what, the protestations are numerous here to start the game. We're not even through the first inning. Let's take a look. I didn't see it there, did you?
I didn't see it there either in real time there.
You know what's interesting here is you, yesterday, when we're chatting with Kylie Shar, specifically asked her, what do you key on to get off the base quickly with the pitcher? And she just kind of said it was a rhythm thing.
It's a rhythm and a tempo. I was shocked. Usually players watch the front foot, the front heel of a pitcher, or is the ball in the top of their circle. They have some sort of cue. But Kylie Shar, one of the most prolific base runners in the country, she just gets her rhythm down, gets a feel in the pregame, and as soon as she's on first base. But that certainly was not egregious with the first look we had there. And a lot of times with a runner at third, when the squeeze is on, you are going with the pitch, but you're going enough where if the ball is popped up, you can still get back. But they're taking a good look at this. We'll take another look here. You're not watching Kylie Shar's motion. You're watching when the ball is out of the hand. And look, her foot is clearly on the base, Mark.
No doubt.
I don't think this will be overturned. I think Oregon's run will stay on the board.
And it will cost Liberty a challenge. One of two they have. This has gone to the centralized replay system in Pittsburgh. But that look that we just showed you slowed down, there is no way this call is going to be overturned. So Oregon is the team to grab the lead.
I appreciate Kylie Shar with the green shoes. Makes it even easier to see that.
A full house here at Jane Sanders Stadium. All right, the look we just showed you was definitive. So it really shouldn't take much longer here.
Well, and you understand a little bit what Dot Richardson's trying to do here. You know, she knows how important it is to keep Oregon off the board, kind of taking every chance she can get here early in the game, slow down the momentum of this inning. And if she were to have left early, that would be a big run off the board for Oregon. But I agree with you, Mark. What we see, to me, it's very clear she did not leave early, and this run will stand.
Yeah. If the goal was to slow things down, mission accomplished. Oh, brother. All right, this call should be upheld. What did we miss? What did we miss? Wow. What did we miss? We've got to see this look again. All right.
Remember, you're watching her foot, and when the ball is released, nothing else.
The foot is still on the base there, is it not? The ball's out of the hand.
What it looks like to me.
I'm floored.
I mean, her foot does come off the base right there. If you take a look at that, if that's what they're looking at, her foot actually comes up off the base.
But she reestablished on the base, did she not? In a very quick period of time.
Big moment in this game.
So now that's the only thing that, okay, when she brings it up off the base and she brings it down, she's still in the windup there, in the windmill. So it's still a scoreless game here. All right, so the clarification we've gotten from Pittsburgh is that her foot left the bag with the ball still in the pitcher's hand.
And you can see it did lift up.
And that ball's hit deep to left field. And at the track, leaping, caught by Paige Dorr. The Eugene, Oregon native possibly just took a home run away and ends the inning.
Well, what a crazy inning here in Eugene. We are still scoreless because of this catch by Paige Dorr.
Well, it was a very fun send-off party in Lynchburg for the Liberty Lady Flames when they left to make the cross-country flight over here, celebrating the regional win at College Station. And one of the most bizarre first innings I've ever been a part of just concluded. It's still scoreless as we go to the top of the second. And I guess definitely kudos to Dot Richardson. The challenge worked. Now, we're attempting to get clarification. Yes, we could see the foot of Kylie Shark came off third base with the ball still in the hand of the pitcher, but that she had come back down on the base before it left her hand. So the question is, can you reestablish? And I got to be honest, in the couple of decades I've been calling the sport, I've never seen that particular play.
And I've been around this sport a long time as a coach, as a player. I can't say that I've seen that as well. And you do see a little bit of air underneath there, very, very brief air. But, you know, I don't think that's what Dot Richardson saw. I'd love to visit with her about that. I think she was just trying to see if she did indeed the timing of it, you know, left early, just to slow the momentum down, try to take the run off the board. Kind of a long shot that actually ended up in her favor.
Here's Badry, a high fly towards center field. The right fielder takes command. It's Ayanna Shaw who's getting the start in right. And by the way, the fact that Madry was left at the plate to win the top of the first inning was a big deal for Oregon to get out of that frame.
It was huge. As soon as we went to break, we started talking about that. Liberty kind of ran themselves out of the last inning, a base running mistake there. Madry, one of the fastest players in the game. They had a lot of opportunities that were quickly ended.
So here's Paige Dorr, made the great catch in left field. Looked like that ball from Patman, who hit the walk-off 3-run home run here on this very same field in her previous at bat to beat Stanford and send them to the Supers. Almost hit another one there, but got robbed by Dorr. That ball's whacked towards left center field. And it's Kendry Luchard this time with a tumbling grab.
The defense we have seen in this game so far, great timing from Kendry Luchard. Stays on her feet as long as she can. That makes her as fast as she can go. And at the last second, times it, leaves her feet, extends her arm. Doesn't get much better than that.
Third baseman Rachel Crane. 2 outs, bases empty for the Flames. You know, defense, it sounds trite, but it's going to play a big role in this series. And when you just compare the full season for both teams, Oregon has been the much better defensive team in this matchup.
Yeah, you take a look, and offensively, these teams are very explosive. They can score in a lot of ways. Speed and power, they've got it all. And in the circle with Escobar, obviously Oregon has a little more quality depth. Kind of have to give them a little bit of a nod there, but when it comes to defense coming into the matchup, it's not even close. And now without their starting shortstop, they've got their work cut out for them. So outs are going to be very, very important to get when you have an opportunity. And that's why catches like we just saw from Kendry Luchard, this Liberty team can score in bunches. They have the ability to hit home runs through the lineup. And when you can keep those runners off the base, a solo home run, it's not going to hurt you as much, but that multi-run home run, trouble.
That's foul ball right near the bag. It went foul. Plate umpire there to make the call. Quick call by Matt Dial.
And what you're looking for is where the ball is actually touched by Flannery, not where her body is, but where the ball is fielded. And the ball is in foul territory, as clearly our home plate umpire felt it was. Then
well, Crane is now
take a look.
may have an issue with her left arm or shoulder. She's kind of waving that around. Well, the Women's College World Series returns to Oklahoma City. The action begins less than a week from now, Thursday, May 29th, noon Eastern, live on ESPN. For more info on this year's Women's College World Series, go to NCAA.com, your online home for all 90 NCAA championships. And Crane says she's ready. The 2-2 from Lindsey Grine is way upstairs. Pitch just missed. Very close to that high outside edge. And the second walk issued so far tonight by Lindsey Grine.
Little smile on the face from Lindsey Grine. That pitch was close, but Lindsey Grine has worked herself into some unfavorable pitching counts. She's been pitching from behind a little bit more than she usually does, and when you find yourself behind, you leave it in the hands of someone else. She typically works from ahead a little bit more. She needs to make that adjustment as the game progresses here.
Catcher Savannah Jessie looks apparently a little hair inside for ball one. Jessie, who had a huge home run in the decisive game against Texas A&M. Her home run tied the game at 3 in the top of the 6th. First team All-Conference USA this year for Savannah Jessie. Trying to keep this top of the second alive for the Flames. Tell you what, this crowd of 2,500 plus is not happy with the calls they're getting or not getting at this moment.
Usually, it takes an inning to kind of establish the strike zone for pitchers, but this has gone into the second inning here, really on both sides. Both pitchers. Saw that with Escobar as well. Just some really marginal pitches.
Safe to say that the zone has seemed very tight to begin the game on both sides.
It sure has. And on both sides of the plate, on both sides. And look, both of these teams can hit. And when you shrink the strike zone, there's going to be a lot of balls hit in this game. These pitchers are going to have to bring it more over the plate.
Jessie battling, fouls another.
But this is where I'd like to see Grine go more to her off-speed pitch. If that high velo pitch isn't being called and you're struggling a little bit to make those adjustments, she's got that in her pocket. I'd like to see her use that a little more.
There you go. Probably caught a little more of the plate than she would have liked, but I think it was the speed that you advised.
Yeah, she tunnels it so well. Looks like it's coming at that high velo. And she really has good command of that pitch on both sides of the plate.
2-2 offering from Lindsey Grine. Jessie continues to foul off pitch after pitch.
And this is where you're a pitcher, you're facing a team that battles, hits a lot of foul balls. You want to throw a few out of the zone, but right now, a lot of pitches are out of the zone. You're getting balls called, so a little bit tougher here for Lindsey Grine in the second inning.
Jessie sends one in the air to right field. Here's Rihanna Shaw is stationed, who makes the catch to retire the side. So Grine works around that 2-out walk, and Liberty strands a base runner. Scoreless midpoint of the second in Eugene. Well, of the 8 super regional sites, most of them, in fact all but one, are really concentrated in the southeast part of our wonderful country. And then there's us, way over in the Pacific Northwest. So the closest super regional site to us is Norman And that's almost 1,500 miles away from here. The farthest is Gainesville, and right now we are 2,437 miles away from Gainesville.
That's a road trip.
Yeah, it's a long road trip. But we're happy to be on the West Coast, representing out west in what has been there's a lot of adjectives I could use right now. Bizarre, strange start to this game. And all of that really kind of centers around what looked to be not the correct call on the challenge by Liberty on Luchar leaving the base early, which cost Oregon a run. And if you're just joining us, it's a very convoluted way of getting to it. But we will revisit at some point. It's still a scoreless game. Patman leads off. Takes down low. Ground ball towards the middle. Backhand stop, turning, throwing, dug out at first base by McManus. Savannah Woodard making the play. The first out of the inning.
Well, defense starts with your feet, and Woodard has to move to this ball to her right. And you have to make a decision. Do I backhand this ball and commit to it? Do I get in front of the ball, field in front of my body? She makes that decision early, gets her glove to the ball, plenty of time to make the throw.
Catcher Emma Cox. True freshman from the Denver area, Thornton, Colorado. Just a little bit of time with injury this year in her freshman year. And a big two-run home run at the bottom of the third of the decisive game Sunday against Stanford. Cut the deficit to 7-5. We're going to win 10-7. That's going to find the seats. Three balls and a strike. Jammed her, another one lifted foul.
Escobar really working that arm side right now. So the right-handed batters, that rise ball that she really throws at all different levels is coming inside. And Oregon having a tough time barreling that ball up. I look for them to move away from the plate a little bit, keep their hands in, open their hips.
Ooh, that one ripped foul right over by the Oregon third base dugout. Check swing, pitch down low, the 3-2 misses, and Escobar walks Cox with one out. Let's check in with the studio. What's going on with Texas Clemson, Matt Schick? Matt, appreciate it very much. John Rittman's team trying to get to Oklahoma City for the first time ever. Here's Kaylin Jones, Duck's second baseman. Scoreless game here, bottom of the second. Jones made the all-freshman team, second team all Big Ten.
And this is where Oregon is so difficult to defend. They have so much speed on their team. So the infield has busy minds. They have a lot of decisions to make pitch to pitch. Do I field the ball? Do I cover the base? What's the speed of the ball?
Towards short, caught, and a double play ends the inning. Caught at the shoe tops by Jamira Byram. And they double up Cox to win the inning.
That's been the story of the game so far. Some defense. Doubled it up. Liberty coming to bat.
Yeah, Liberty was so close in 2024. We're 1 out away from winning the Athens Regional and beating Georgia. And then it fell apart quickly, the Sidney Chamblee walk-off. But they got there to the Supers this year. And this is the season they have had. It's been very historic for the Flames.
And Liberty has never shied away from playing a difficult schedule. Their strength of schedule is actually higher than Oregon's coming into this game. You see the 9 wins against Power 4 teams. And that is something year after year after year that is intentional from head coach Dot Richardson. You know, look, this team loves to win conference championships, and they've done it a lot. But their ultimate goal is to get to the Women's College World Series. They're 2 wins away.
9-1 and 2 hitters here for Liberty, top of the third.
Well, Lindsey Grind continues to fall behind, and her catcher Emma Cox is going to go out and talk to her. This is the 5th straight batter that she has started with a ball, and so she has been pitching from behind. And every pitcher out there knows when you pitch from behind, you got to give in a little bit, come over the plate, and against a team like Liberty, they will make you pay.
Two and nothing on Byram to begin the inning. And Jemiah playing because of the injury to Savannah Watley, right elbow, throwing elbow. It happened in that final game at Texas A&M. It's her 31st game, 21st start. 20th start at shortstop. And I looked in the 19 games that she had started at shortstop. Liberty was 15-4. She works a leadoff walk. That's the 3rd walk handed out by Lindsey Grind.
And not that she wants to walk any batter, but certainly not Byram, who hits in the 9 spot. Not as many at bats. And now the top of the lineup rolls over.
And that means Savannah Woodard.
I mean, to me, Woodard is the engine that makes this Liberty offense go. She is a true triple threat. She can bunt her way on base. She can slap. She also can hit it over the fence. So tough to defend. And her mentality this year is one where kind of has gotten out of her own way. You know, she used to get in her own way, get too emotional, get too upset if things didn't go her way, and self-admittedly. And this year she's been able to stay calm, keep those emotions in check, having a great season.
She told us yesterday, her exact quote was, "I stay out of my own head better." Woodard, who spent 3 seasons at Alabama, really in her 3rd year with Liberty, but missed all of last season due to injury. It takes low from 0-2 to 2-2 on Savannah Woodard.
Grind not able to get command of that off-speed pitch, and that's really a difference maker pitch for her.
Towards third, foul. Flannery giving a chase. Leadoff batter on base for the first time for the Flames here in the top of the third. Top of the order up. 2-2 pitch. Woodard right back up the middle. That may have actually grazed Grind as it went by. And Woodard has a base hit, sending Byram down to second, and the first two are on for the Flames.
That's a great at-bat from Woodard. Patient. This one too much over the plate from Lindsey Grind. It's elevated. It's right down Broadway, right over the middle of the plate, and that's why Woodard is able to time it up, take it right back up the middle. Anytime you hit a ball that hard right back up the middle, you know you're on balance and you know you're on time. And once again, Lindsey Grind continues to pitch from behind and has had to come in too close over the plate. And Liberty has made her pay.
So coach has come out heading towards the circle, and she's going to make the pitching change. Well, Elise Sokolsky played a big role in the 2 wins over Stanford Sunday to get him to the Super Regional. Through 3 innings in the first game, got the save, and then got the win in game 2.
And in the postseason, especially the last 5-6 games, it's been Sokolsky that has been the difference maker. Just been very stingy in terms of giving up hits, giving up runs. This is a good switch of tempo. Grind falling behind, and with Rachel Roop at the plate, giving her a different look was very important in this game.
Obviously, since Grind was the starter, she can re-enter at some point if necessary. Sokolsky is a little bit inside for ball 1. I think it just mainly was kind of a give him a different look second time through the order as well.
Well, and no strikeouts for Grind. Yeah. That's very rare. That tells you right there, just not a lot of movement through the zone, falling behind. I mean, you got a pitcher that falls behind us. Sokolsky has here very marginal pitches, very competitive pitches in the zone. But when you're facing a hitter like Rachel Roop, the last thing you want to do is fall behind the top 10 in the country in terms of home runs.
There's a strike. What else can we expect from Elise Sokolsky?
Sokolsky works in the mid-60s, but she really can cover all 4 quadrants. She can work vertically and horizontally, but that changeup is really the difference maker. She can throw it on any count for a strike.
Big rip and a miss. That's a good late downward movement.
And you got a good look at that changeup. I mean, she just throws it with so much confidence. You got to do anything you can to keep a hitter like Rachel Roop off balance.
And it has gone to a full count on Roop. Roop hits it. That is fair, right near the bag. Out at third, out at first, double play. Well, Flannery heads up, knew she had a force at third. Touched the base with her foot to get the first out, and then across the diamond to get Roop.
Just the ability to stop the ball. This ball is pulled hard. Rachel Roop rolls over the ball, tops it, but look at this play. Flannery keeps her glove low to the ground, and the ability to field the ball, kind of lay on the base, that's where she ended up, but to be able to get up, have the presence of mind to go to first base, a huge double play for Oregon.
16th double play turned by the Ducks defense this year. Big one there. Now the lone runner is Woodard at second with 2 outs. Flannery, by the way, took a foul ball during the Oregon half of last inning. Hit Flannery while she was waiting in the on-deck circle. It took her a little while to get out of the dugout and take her position at third base when this inning began. She got hit in the leg on a line drive that was hit foul. And Kaylin Jones is at bat. That is grounded out to Flannery at third, her first time up. That's fouled back. Let's take you back to the last inning. Flannery's there in the on-deck circle. There's that line drive that was hit foul, and that got her right on the leg. Shot foul.
Well, this is where Liberty did a lot of their damage in the Bryan College Station Regional. 26 of their 35 runs in the regional came with 2 outs. They're looking for a little bit of that magic right now. Well, Liberty makes you work as a pitcher. I mean, they just battle, they fight, they have grit, they grind, they foul pitches off, and this is where you have to get real crafty as a pitcher and mainly be able to throw that off speed for a strike.
That is fair, right near the bag, throw to first in time. A busy inning for Flannery after taking a foul line drive off her leg. And guess who's going to lead off? Flannery when we come back for the bottom of the third. This Super Regional just getting going in Eugene. You got Liberty in their first ever Super Regional, looking for their first win at this Super Regional round. If Oregon can get 2 wins here at home this weekend, it'll be their 7th Women's College World Series appearance, the first under head coach Missy Lombardi, as it would be the first since 2018. Here is Katie Flannery leading off. Home half of the third in a scoreless game. 2 hits for the Flames, 1 for Oregon. Two balls and no strikes. Elena Escobar facing the 8, 9, and 1 part of the order for the Ducks. Chatted with Escobar yesterday. She's never one that shows a lot of emotion in the circle anyway, but she's been dealing really with that Achilles injury, left leg, for a while now, and you never know if she's feeling good or bad or which way she's leaning.
And just such a competitor. I mean, what she's been able to do, a lot of appearances this season. I mean, the amount of time she has put her arm in a circle this season and really willed Liberty to get out and led her team to victories. It's impressive.
Madry out in center field. It's away out number 1.
And she gets a lot of those types of outs. She just has enough of that upspin on the ball, whether it's a screwball, rise ball. Sometimes she'll throw a curveball in there, but if you can't keep your barrel high through the zone, get it on plane early, stay strong with your hands, you're going to get a lot of fly ball outs. And we've seen a few of those already today.
Now to Shaw, shortens up. 42nd game for Shaw, her 20th start. Part of the reshuffle of the lineup with no Riley McCoy tonight. Bunt laid down, but it trickles foul.
Well, Shaw, as you mentioned, not in the hitting lineup every day. A little more of a defensive specialist in the outfield than an offensive specialist, but she's in the lineup today. You mentioned it, Riley McCoy out, a little bit of shuffling with Oregon, but look how tight the outfield is playing. She does not have a lot of extra base hits on the season. They're playing the odds, even though she's slapping, kind of go to her power slap, her version of swinging away. The infield's tight, respecting her speed, but that outfield, they're playing the odds. Almost tempting Shaw to swing a little harder than she's comfortable. They're just shortening the whole field on her.
On the ground out to short. Byram tried a backhand stab, but it went off the glove and high over her head. A tough chance for Byram. We'll see how they score it. Shaw is on. Shaw, by the way, that's her 58th at bat of the season. She's been hitting well over 400.
Yeah, this ball is hit hard, but Byram gives up on it. Just kind of waves her glove at it. One more step to get in front of that ball. Even using her backhand would have had a better opportunity to secure the ball and throw over to first base.
They score that in error. 10th error of the season charged to Byram. And the top of the order up, here's Kailu Shar, whose first inning trip around the bases was a very controversial one. This one is bouncing towards right center and may give the Ducks the lead. Shaw headed for the plate, she'll score. Kailu Shar in with a slide at third. An RBI triple, and the Ducks open the scoring in the third inning. First triple of the year for Kailu Shar.
She keeps her barrel up in the zone. Look where her barrel is. This pitch is elevated a little bit at her chest, and she does not miss. And the outfielders are playing tight, knowing she does not have a lot of extra base hits. They have to go a long way for the ball. A key RBI for Kailu Shar.
Kailu Shar fouls it in the air over near the screen, and that catch is made, and it's a good one. Now, Oregon is complaining that the ball hit the screen first before the catch by Byram. Third base umpire Chad Spitler gave the out sign, and now here comes Missy Lombardi. As if this game hasn't had enough controversy through 3+ innings, let's add a little more.
Well, you're taking a look at her hand. She's got her hand out, and her glove is facing the net. I think that's what Coach Missy Lombardi, Associate Head Coach Sam Martyr are looking at. Does her glove get between the netting and the ball? That would be a catch, but it looks to me like her glove is opened a little bit toward the netting, and thus the decision over there from Coach Missy Lombardi to have the umpires get together and talk about it.
I mean, the ruling on the field is catch, and they're standing with that call. Coach Lombardi at this point has not challenged, but that may change. Nope, they're going to live with it.
Well, let's talk about how far Byram went to catch that ball. That's a huge out with a runner at third, less than 2 outs. Now we have 2 outs and the fastest base runner for Oregon, so that is a huge play. A lot of grit shown there to get over, find a way to make that catch to get to 2 outs.
So an error charge to Byram earlier in the inning has allowed the first run of the game to score, which is an unearned run. With a fantastic play there that will stand now with that pitch, and that's up high. Stephanie Maake. Hammers one, but foul. No question, Maake's got some power. She's hit 14 out of the yard this year.
Such a good athlete. It was a lot of fun watching her practice yesterday as well.
Left field, that's down for a base hit. That brings in Kailu Shar with the second run of the inning, and for Maake, the 54th RBI of the year.
Shows good patience in this at-bat, knowing how important this 2-out RBI would be. It's actually a pitch outside. She's excited. She knows she got a hit, but the pitch is outside. She still pulls it because she is out in front so far of that pitch. A huge run for Oregon.
Here's the cleanup hitter, Paige Siddiqui. Paige fly to deep left. First time up, that was that weird sequence where she put down the squeeze bunt. It looked like it had scored Kailu Shar. Siddiqui wound up at second, but then there was the challenge from Dot Richardson and Liberty that led to being ruled that Kylie Shaw left third early. That call, if you look at it yourself, you may dispute it or not. We'll, I'm sure, revisit that again at some further point tonight. But it brought Siddiqui back, who then nearly hit a 3-run home run. Three balls and a strike. That's the third walk that Alina Escobar has now given up. And it's extending the Ducks' third. Coming up on 60 pitches now in this game for Escobar.
On that off-speed pitch is the one she's had quite a bit of command of in this inning. She's only thrown it a couple times, but she has thrown it for a strike. Just working with her catcher on what velo pitch feels the best. What do I feel I have the most control of right now? Because that's where she's been missing a little out of the zone with the rise ball. That is her best pitch. She can throw it on all levels, but having a tough time today getting that movement and that break on the ball that she typically does.
Well, a two-out chance here. Desiana Patman. Des grounded out to the right side her first time up. Takes strike one. Des, who had the 3-run walk-off home run to beat Stanford here on Sunday to send him to the Supers.
The one thing you can count on is that Escobar is a competitor. That's the first word that her teammates use to describe her, that Dot Richardson uses to describe her. She's going to give you your best every time out.
Slow tap towards short. Another play for Byram. Looks it into the glove and throws out Patman to retire the side. But they score twice. Ducks have taken the lead. When we come back, we'll visit with the Flames head coach, Dot Richardson. Welcome back to the NCAA Softball Super Regionals presented by Capital One as we head to the top of the fourth inning. Let's chat with Flames head coach Dot Richardson. You guys have had some opportunities offensively, and now they've lifted grind facing Sokolsky. What have you seen from the offense? What do you need to see from the offense?
Well, I'm excited about what we're doing in the box, getting grind out there pretty quickly, right on the ball. Now we just got to get used to a different tempo, a little slower. So she mixes speeds a lot. Just a matter of time. We got a lot of game left.
Well, Coach, one word used commonly to describe Escobar is competitor, and she is doing that tonight. What are you seeing from her in the circle so far today?
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing. I mean, she is just getting used to the environment right here. I think she's looking good. A little miscue. Those things are going to happen when you put pressure on the defense, which Oregon does. But she's coming on strong, and we got to get runs for her for sure.
Great to have you guys here. We'll let you get to the third base coach's box.
Thanks so much. God bless everybody. Go Flames and go God.
Dot Richardson, season 12, has them in their first Supers. There's a good look at Escobar. Again, you can never tell just by looking at her. Things are good, bad, indifferent. That's always what you get from Escobar.
Just ice in her veins. And she talked about it yesterday a little bit. She's like, look, at the level we're playing these teams, they're going to score runs. The goal is to minimize that and give her offense a chance. And we've seen what this Liberty offense can do, especially with their backs against the wall. They're so good at coming from behind this season.
Liner right at the drawn-in third baseman, Stephanie Maake, and hit all. One pitch, one out for Sokolsky.
Well, Coach Lombardi talks about what an athlete Maake is. You get a look at it here, just quick reactions, stays in her legs. But watching her yesterday at practice, she used to pitch, and she's playing first now for the injured Riley. Such a good hitter. I mean, and really the life of the party, so to speak, of the Oregon team. Just really can rally everyone around her.
Madry takes a first pitch strike. KK was at the plate in the first inning when LU ran themselves out of the inning. So she led off the second and flied to right. She's 0 for 1. You know, you don't find a series, too many series, where each team has a 50 stolen base runner. Each of these teams do, and it's important, vital for Liberty this weekend to get Madry on base as much as possible.
I mean, #1 in the country with Kylu Shar, a tie for #2 in the country with KK Madry. I mean, there's a lot of teams in Division I this season that don't have 50 steals, 50-plus steals, and yet we have 2 individuals in this series that can make that happen. And when you have a player who has that sort of speed, they can turn a single into a double very quickly because they get on first base, but then it's so easy for them to steal. And there you get a look at how prolific these 2 are.
Madry takes low, 2-2. Another one of the changes for Madry this year was moving from left to center field. What a year it's been for her. First team All-Conference USA. And has had 5 games this year with 3 stolen bases. I'm sure that scouting report on the Oregon side, a big point of emphasis is keeping this particular player off base.
Without question.
Slow ground ball, and they're not going to accomplish it here. On base is Madry. She puts the ball on the ground, even if it's softly hit. She's got a good chance to beat it out.
Just so savvy with her bat. Typically goes to the short game, but she can also swing away. Stands up nice and tall, so she's able to stay at the top of that strike zone. Takes it right back up the box.
Well, 50 steals. She's been caught 5 times. Now has reached base in 22 straight games. Paige Dorr, that's over the shortstop Sinicki into left center. Madry's off to the races. She's around third, and she is going to score without the throw to the plate. It's cut off by Mayake. Down to second goes Dorr with the double. And Liberty is on the board in the Supers. It's 2-1.
KK Madry just floats around the bases. The minute this gets to the gap, she is thinking score. But this swing from Paige Dorr, the pitch is outside. She lets it get deep. A nice sliding play from Lushar out in center field to keep it from going to the wall, but it's already at the warning track. No chance to get the speedy Madry.
It's a big series for Paige Dorr, that RBI double there. She played a season at Oregon State, her true freshman year last year, and she's from Coburg, Oregon, which is about a 10-minute drive on the north side of town. The Dorr family had the entire team over a couple of nights ago for a Hawaiian barbecue. So the homecoming for Paige Dorr, and she's driven in the first run of the Super Regional for the Flames. In the dirt, almost halfway to third base, was Dorr able to retreat back to the bag. Nice play there by the catcher, Emma Cox, to keep that from getting away.
What Sokolsky can do, really work both sides of the plate. Really difficult for a hitter against Sokolsky. You can't really hunt one side or the other because she has good command, stretching the zone east-west.
Potential tying run at second. 1 out in the Flames' 4th inning. Three-twos pulled foul.
I mean, I don't have anything scientific in front of me, but I would love to, I probably will, a little bit later tonight or in the morning. I bet Liberty doesn't have a lot of looking strikeouts on the season. I mean, they are up there with the bat off their shoulder and ready to dig in and fight off all sorts of pitches till they can find something to drive. Just really impressive offensive philosophy. And Sammy Fagan, the hitting coach, has done such a tremendous job with the team this year.
As you were saying, aggressive, aggressive, aggressive. Which I think is why people have taken a liking to this team.
And you've got to practice that. You can't just say, oh, foul it off. Foul it off till you get something you can drive. You know, you really have to practice that.
8th pitch of this at bat. Another 3-2 from Sokolsky is down low, ball 4. Well, Crane walks for a second time. The other walk handed out by Grind. This time she gets one from Sokolsky, and it's 1st and 2nd, still only 1 out. Definitely some folks that made the trip on the other side of the country in Lynchburg, Virginia. Melissa Lombardi out of the dugout. She wants to have a chat with her infield. Well, here's this week's Sunday Night Baseball matchup. It is the series finale between the Dodgers and the Mets. 7 Eastern on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. Our coverage begins at 6 Eastern with baseball tonight's Sunday Night Countdown. Game 1, this best of 3 Eugene Super Regional in the middle stages. Scoreless through 2.5. Oregon just scored 2 in the bottom of the 3rd, one of those unearned. Either Spencer as well as the lefty Chambers are up in the bullpen for the Ducks. Flames have scored their first run in the Supers and have the tying run at second, potential go-ahead run at first for the catcher Savannah Jesse.
It's been a struggle for the Oregon pitching staff tonight. There's no doubt about it. A lot of walks in the game so far, pitching from behind, and against a team like Liberty, that just sets you up for trouble because they do fight, they do battle at the plate.
Little tap. That's a fair ball, picked up, and the throw by Sokolsky in time. The other runners advance. So the Ducks defense does get the second out, each runner moving up 60 feet.
Well, the only person who could have made that play was the pitcher. It's so important when you have a pitcher in the circle that can field their position. It makes such a difference in the game. The only play there was to first base, and the only one that could make it was Elise Sokolsky to get to 2 outs.
And a big spot here for Jemiah Byram, up with 2 on, 2 out. She's getting the start in lieu of Watley, who's out with injury to her throwing elbow. Walked in her first plate appearance an inning ago. Ground ball towards 3rd. That's fair. There's been a lot of those tonight over there for Flannery, and she's been flawless. Throws out Byram to retire the side, and the Flames settle for 1. When we return, our chance to visit with Missy Lombardi, Ducks head coach. Beautiful night in Eugene, and the number 16 national seed Ducks have a 2-1 lead on Liberty. Let's chat with head coach Melissa Lombardi. Missy, what have you seen offensively, your bats against Escobar tonight to this point?
Good. I like how we're swinging the bat. We're passing the bat. We just need to continue to work to be on time, and we get something that we like, hit it hard.
Well, Coach, probably a few too many free passes than you like in the circle from your pitchers, but Sokolsky's been able to get it out when she's needed it. What do you like about her in the circle so far tonight?
Again, just love how she's competing. I like how she's changing speeds and allowing her defense to work behind her.
Appreciate the time. Thanks so much, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Coach Melissa Lombardi. Now in season number 7 here in Eugene. After how many years was it in Norman? It was a lot. 21 seasons. 21 seasons. The Patty Gasso staff. Full house here tonight at the Jane Sanders Stadium. Every seat has been sold for all potentially 3 games this weekend here. Mark Neely, former Purdue head coach Carol Bruggeman. First pitch swinging. Cox sends it deep towards right center, but right on the edge of the track. Run down by Rachel Roop. Well, in many ways, when you look at Liberty this season, and especially in the postseason last weekend at Texas A&M, they played a lot of high-scoring games. Midway through this one, it hasn't played out that way, Carol.
And a little bit oddly, since both pitchers have really been pitching from behind a little bit. You know, they've been pitching into some hitters counts versus pitchers counts. Could be a little bit of nerves.
Jones shoots one to left. Dorr able to move over and cut it off. With Kaylin Jones, who lined out to short her first time up. There's a base hit here in inning number 4.
Jones times this one up beautifully. Lets the pitch get deep in the zone. Look at this barrel control. Not trying to do too much. It's not even a full swing. Just strong through contact. Flares it into left field.
Flannery jumping on the first pitch. Katie fouls it back. Katie fly to center in her only at bat. She has been very busy at third base. Birmingham, Alabama native. Henry had one of the big home runs in the decisive game against Stanford last weekend. 3-run home run. That's hit into the twilight on the infield. Having to scamper back to first goes Jones. It's caught by Woodard. Flannery pops out. 2 gone.
And this is vintage Escobar. When her team needs a pitch, she's able to find that upspin. You look down and you see all the fly ball outs, and that's because of her ability to move the ball through different parts of the strike zone and have that late upspin break.
0-1 to Ayanna Shaw for Escobar, this year's Conference USA Pitcher of the Year. She definitely earned that honor, Escobar. She was 12-0 in conference play. That ball's bounced to Byram at short, who throws out Shaw to retire the side. So the Ducks strand a runner, and we've made it through 4 in Eugene. It's a 2-1 game. Well, our game recap starts bottom of the first. Kylie Shaw on a squeeze play. Looked like she had scored a run, but on a challenge from the Liberty Flame, that call was overturned. It's lit up the Twitter world, by the way, on the softball side of things. But Ducks were able to get on the board. A couple of RBI base hits. Ake had the second one after Kylie Shaw's RBI triple, and then Flames able to get on the board. Paige Dorr, local kid from here in the Eugene area, brings in Madry. With the Flames run, it's 2-1 Oregon as top of the order comes up in the Liberty 5th inning. Here's your game summary. Woodard is fly to left, hit one back to the circle. It does so again there, and she's safe. Good play by Kayla Jones, who made it really close at first. Woodard, who's got good wheels, getting down the line. This is her second infield hit.
Well, Sokolsky can field this ball, come up with it clean. She's going to easily get the out, but she squeezes her glove a little bit too soon. But look at the hustle from Kaylin Jones. Just attacks the ball, throws it on the run, does everything she can, but too much speed from Woodard.
Potential tying run on board for Rachel Roop, and that's way high to the backstop. No chance for Emma Cox, and a wild pitch. And suddenly the tying run's at second with nobody out. And now they're just going to put Roop on.
Where you're very careful. This is where you're very careful. You got the 7th leading hitter in terms of home runs in the country. You've got a close game, a base open. I mean, I would not mess with Rachel Roop as well. She has proven game after game this season, year after year in a Liberty uniform, her ability to clutch up, so to speak, drive the ball deep when it's needed.
And now that gets away. So it partially backfires. They do take the bat out of Roop's hand, but they give Woodard an extra 60 feet.
That's just a lack of focus from Emma Cox. And that's why you practice that in the bullpen. You see your teammates giving her a little pat on the back, trying to pick her up. That's just a mental mistake turned into a physical mistake. You cannot take a pitch off in the Super Regionals. Every pitch matters.
So first and third, nobody out. 2-1 Ducks, top of the 5th. And the Flames have the 3-hole hitter up, Bryn McManus. McManus has grounded out twice to the third baseman Flannery. Another Oregon native back in her home state from McMinnville. McManus from McMinnville.
With the speed of Woodard at third base, any angle down play where the infield's got to move a little bit, you know she's going to be taking off. And the infield is playing as tight as they can to try and prevent that play.
Polsky gets ahead, a ball and 2 strikes.
But this is the pitcher you want in the circle if you're Oregon. She lives with that drop ball down in the zone, gets a lot more ground ball outs than she does fly ball outs. She certainly could use one of those right now.
Two on McManus. Hit a 3-run home run in the win over Marist to their first game of the regional in College Station. And with 2 on here. It's bounced up there. Good block by Cox there.
Cox is getting a workout right now behind the plate. After that mental mistake, she's really locked in and making sure her body is in front of that ball, not letting anything get past.
3-2 pitch on the way. And strike 3 call on the outside corner. Big pitch for Sokolsky and the Ducks to get the first out of the inning.
Yeah, something we don't see from Liberty often. They leave the bat on their shoulder, but this is painted on the corner. It's a drop ball, breaking away and breaking down. Not really sure what McManus was looking for there, but excellent pitch from Sokolsky at a key moment in this game.
Sends up the DP, Alyssa Hinault. Off speed on the first pitch on Hinault, who was walked and hit a soft liner to first. Hinault, fairly shallow left, catch made. Throw to second, not in time. So Woodard got off the base 3 or 4 steps and stopped. And enough to allow Roop to go to second, but The Oregon defense gets the second out on the fly ball.
And that was good base running from Root to tag and watch the release of the throw to get to second, but really surprised she wasn't really down to second base with all the balls in the dirt, you know, in the previous batter, but now they do have 2 runners in scoring position.
And a big spot here for Madry. 1 for 2. She has scored the lone run for the Flames. Liberty 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position so far tonight. A chance here for KK. Gets fooled by an off-speed pitch.
Oh, what a great pitch from Sokolsky. Takes a little off. It's a big moment of the game. Madry way out in front of that pitch. I look for Sokolsky to go right back to that same pitch.
The soothsayer Carol Bruggeman is right as usual, and it's 1-2.
Will we see 3?
I was going to ask you, is there a chance? You're telling me there's a chance. Count holds it, a ball and 2 strikes. Two-one game in the 5th. Game 1, best of 3 from Eugene, and a sold-out house at the Jane. Left center field, pretty well hit, but playable. Right on the warning track, Kai Luchar makes the catch. That ball carried a long way for Madry. And the Flames strand 2.
Well, look at the speed of Kai Luchar to run this down to the warning track, ends the scoring threat.
Well, Kai Luchar has been a central figure in a lot of plays in this game, but none bigger than getting the jump on this ball, which really carried a long way to left center.
I mean, look how far she went to catch this ball. Ends up on the warning track. The ball is still fading away from her. Not only was it the 3rd out of the inning, it saved the lead for Oregon. That would have scored 2 runs easily. She gets an opportunity as the leadoff batter to make something happen for her team.
2 for 2. Single in the 1st. RBI triple her last time up. And of course, the central figure in the challenge from Dot Richardson in the 1st. When Kai was at 3rd on a squeeze bunt before the ball left the hand of Escobar, she briefly took her foot off the base but put it back on. And here's a tough play going out at shortstop. Byram able to make the play. You know, Byram, all in all, no Watley tonight at shortstop. And yes, there was the 1 error. It led to an unearned run. Maybe a play where she could have moved her feet instead of tried to backhand a ball. But all in all, good sign for Liberty.
She has handled a lot of balls and had good range. That catch she made over by the netting. And I think Liberty's done a good job of putting her in position to be successful as well. They've just taken her off the steals at second base, allowing her to focus on fielding the ball.
Her sister Kedri Luchar. By the way, back to that challenge play from the 1st inning. It's become a play that a lot of people who have been around softball for a long time have really never come across. And I think there's 2 of them in this booth right here, at least. To lift your foot off the bag. And that's back to the circle. Escobar throws out the other Luchar. But the foot was reestablished before the ball left the hand. So here's the play. This is the 1st inning. It's a squeeze play. Watch your foot briefly come off and then seems to replant on the base before the ball leaves the hand of Escobar. The call on the field initially was no call, but then it went to the Pittsburgh replay and they upheld the challenge and said she left early.
And you know, when you really do a deep dive into the rule book and in looking, there's really no rule that says you can reestablish your foot. So, you know, her foot did technically come off the base briefly. And so therefore, she was out. It was the right call, but that is something I know I have never seen. And watch her foot come off. So, you know, she is technically off the base, even though she reestablishes. We don't have anything in the rule book about reestablishing.
That's hit well towards center field, side retired. Was it the right call? I'm not so sure, but it's the call that was made, and it's the call that matters in this game. It stays 2-1 Oregon at the end of 5.
The NCAA Softball Super Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Well, the official capacity is 2,500, and it is a sellout, 25-17. So 17 lucky folks got in somehow. And they have seen a very interesting beginning to this Eugene Super Regional tonight. The home team, the Ducks, have a 2-1 lead. So we go to the top of inning number 6. Paige Dorr, the Eugene hometown kid, leads off for Liberty. He's lined out to center and doubled in the lone Liberty run back in the 4th. Well, Elise Sokolsky has been a big story in this game, coming in relief for the Ducks.
She's got some key outs when she's needed them. She kind of did the bend but not break mentality. She has fallen behind, as she is here against Dorr.
Back up the middle. It's going to find a way through. A base hit for Dorr. So a 2-hit game in the return home so far for Paige Dorr.
And Liberty's done such a nice job of hitting the ball back up the middle. This one, Dorr rolls over, beats it into the ground, but it has enough pace on it where it finds the gap. And Liberty continues to put pressure on this Oregon defense. A lot of leadoff batters on in this inning. Excuse me, in this game.
Mitchell Crane, who's walked twice, makes a first pitch strike. It is the 3rd time that Liberty has put the leadoff batter on base. And they have stranded 7 tonight. Ducks have stranded 4. There's a bunt laid down. It's going to advance the runner. Flannery makes the play to throw over to Jones. Still no official at bat for Crane, who has 2 walks and now a sac bunt that sends the potential tying run Dorr to second.
Well, no surprise there that Coach Richardson goes to the sacrifice bunt, especially here in the bottom of the order. And as they've really struggled with runners in scoring position tonight, over 8 with runners in scoring position. Here they find themselves with another opportunity. Continue to put pressure on this Oregon defense.
And 10 total hits in the game, 6 for Liberty. Flames catcher Savannah Jesse fly to right and hit one back to the circle. Ball squirts away to third base. Goes Dorr. That's a big extra 60 feet right there with 1 out for the Flames.
But just Oregon's been given so many free bases to Liberty. They have not been able to capitalize. Here they have another opportunity.
Pitch clock was winding down, and Kolsky wants to use one of the timeouts here to reset. Slow roller out to short. Sinicki makes the play a little down the line, but tag made by Mayake. Gore just watched that with a ground ball to the left side. Not much she could do there.
Well, Sinicki, one of the best shortstops in the country, got a little awkward on that particular play. It was mishit. It was hit off the handle. And Paige Sinicki trying to do two things at once. You see how off balance she is. She's falling toward home plate. She's watching the runner at third, and that ball tails because her body and her throw tail toward home. So did the throw tail up the line. But Mayaki, who's done a nice job tonight so far, filling in for the injured Riley McCoy, abandoned the bag, caught the ball and made the tag, and that was really her only play.
Liberty's going to go to the bench. Bat for Byram here. So Alexia Carrasquillo off the bench. Carrasquillo 15 for 45, a .333 average, 4 homers, 16 RBIs. She pinch hits here and takes strike one.
Only been in a pinch hitting opportunity 9 times this season. Does have 2 hits.
Down and in, stabbed by Cox. 2 balls and a strike. Carrasquillo. Tying run at third with 2 outs for the Flames. And Sokolsky paints the outside edge to level it at 2-2. And the fans at the Jane coming to their feet, a big spot. I'm going to get into the bullpen.
Well, and this becomes a big time in the game, not only because Liberty has an opportunity here to tie or even go ahead. Carrasquillo hits it over the fence, but
hold foul.
But also when you look in the on-deck circle and you've got Savannah Woodard and that Liberty lineup turns over, that top of the Liberty lineup is just so difficult to defend. This is a key at-bat in the game for Liberty.
Carrasquillo batting for Byram. 2-2 pitch from Elise Sokolsky. Check swing, appealed. No, says the first base umpire, Chris Drum.
I'll tell you what, Emma Cox has had a few mistakes tonight behind home plate, but she has been working very hard. She has also saved a few runs, those balls in the dirt here.
8th pitch of the at-bat, put in play fair, and Carrasquillo off the bench ties the game. Thor scores the tying run, and it's 2-2 in the 6th in Eugene.
What an at-bat for the freshman coming off the bench. This pitch low and inside. She's able to get her barrel down to that location and flares it into the outfield. But it was the pitches before the base hit that were really key to that at-bat. Fouled a few off, kept battling. What a mentality from the pinch hitter to come off the bench and tie this game.
Byram re-enters. And Missy Lombardi coming out of the dugout for the Ducks. Now the top of the order. Lineup turns over for a 4th time tonight for the Flames. Bullpen's been busy, and Coach Lombardi's going to make a pitching change. A hug from Chambers as she comes in to take over in the circle. Well, Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals tomorrow night. The Thunder take on the T-Wolves at 8:30 Eastern on ABC. Countdown tips off our coverage at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Third different pitcher of the game checks in for the Ducks. And that's Stacey Chambers.
And as the lineup turns over again, this decision made by Melissa Lombardi, trying to keep these Liberty hitters off balance. They turn to the veteran, looking for some leadership here in this tight game, tight situation. Not only a change of pace because she comes from the left side, but also that experience and that competitive nature coming to the circle now with Stacey Chambers.
She pitched a couple times against Stanford. Played a big role in the decisive game as well. And what more can we expect from Chambers?
She's going to throw in the upper 60s, has good velocity, works a rise curve changeup, and if those pitches are spinning up through the zone, she creates a lot of fly ball outs.
A decisive game last Sunday against Stanford. She went 4 1/3 innings, did not allow a run, 2 hits in a game that the Ducks came back and won 10-7. So she takes over for Sokolsky, but Elise Sokolsky played a huge role in this game and kind of stabilizing things on a rare night where the starter Grind was having some command issues.
Yeah, Grind could not get out of the 3rd inning, so Elise Sokolsky, you see, she pitched 3 2/3 inning, 68 pitches, really has done the bulk of the work so far in this game for Oregon.
So Chambers in the circle, top of the order up for the Flames. It's 2-2 in the 6th, and ball 1 with Savannah Woodard. Now ball softly hit, right side, gloved by Jones. Throws out Woodard to retire the side. But the Flames get the tying run on a Carrasquillo pinch hit, and it's 2-2. With all the Super Regionals underway, take a look at the bracket. Texas Tech, the first team to punch their ticket to Oklahoma City for the first time in school history. South Carolina got a win today. So did Ole Miss, which was significant for a couple different reasons. As they get up in their series, we are tied here in Eugene. Ole Miss and South Carolina, first ever super wins. That's what made those significant. And how about Jordy Ball? What a matchup. They take game 1 against Tennessee.
I mean, what a day today, and you have a lot of newcomers and first-timers and first-evers, and I absolutely love that. So good to see all the parity across the country. It's an exciting time of year.
Sinicki leads off, lays down a bunt, throw to first in time, and the catcher, Savannah Jesse, pounces on it and makes the play. One pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th.
I love this idea from Sinicki, trying to gain some momentum back to Oregon, as right now Liberty has it. Gets her barrel in front, avoids getting hit by the ball, but it does not roll far enough away from Jesse, who barehands it and throws on the run. You can't do any better than that. No wasted time.
We got Clemson and Texas tied in extra innings. Clemson win, and they go Oklahoma City for the first time. There's Patman. He's grounded out a couple of times. Has had the big hit. The game tied at 7 here on Sunday. We asked her about it yesterday, and she said, you know what? I felt no pressure. It was tied. There was not 2 outs. if I didn't do it, my teammates would pick me up. Well, you know what? Des was the one who picked up the team.
And the best part about that was she looked down and Coach Martin and Coach Lombardi are like, just a base hit, trying to remind her, like, stay in herself and stay calm. And, well, you know.
Well, she did get a base hit.
She did a little more than, yeah, extra base hit.
Walk-off 3-run homer. Bounces this right to the second baseman. Woodard throws her out. Well, 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th.
And how about Escobar? I mean, she just keeps grinding, keeps pounding the strike zone. Her velocity is down from where it was earlier in the season. Usually it's in the upper 60s. It's more in the mid 60s to even low 60s because of that injury you mentioned earlier, Mark, and just because of the sheer amount of pitches she's had to make this season, especially here in the month of May. But even with her velocity down, she's able to spin the ball enough, get enough movement through the zone to create outs.
Yeah, I don't want to say we've overlooked her, but she's just been Elena. She's been herself tonight, which is that stoic demeanor in the circle and just pitch after pitch, bringing everything she's got. That's an appeal down to third, no swing, and it's a 3-0 count on Emma Cox. A 4-pitch walk keeps the 6th alive for the Ducks. Escobar had set down 4 in a row, but I should say retired 7 in a row, but issues her 4th walk of the game. Oregon going to run for the catcher, Cox. Crusho. Potential go-ahead run on base. Kaylin Jones. Line to short, single to left. The base hit came her last time up in the 4th. That's a little flare. Backing up. Byram makes the catch. I tell you what, no Watley tonight. Byram has been busy. She's there again. We're going to the 7th in Eugene, tied at 2.
You know, I was just trying to get my pitch, trust my work. Like, I've worked too hard to have so much pressure in these moments. Like, I was just like letting loose and doing what I do best and just hitting dingers.
Well, we chatted with Rachel Roop yesterday. You could tell this was a woman who's comfortable in her own skin. You have to be able to say, I do what I do, just hitting dingers.
I loved it. And it is what she does. She just is speaking the truth.
2, 3, and 4 hitters, top of the 7th, tied at 2. Here is the aforementioned Rachel Roop. He's doubled. Walked. Rolled into a double play. Game 1 of this best-of-3 Eugene Super Regional, there for the taking for either of these teams late. Stacey Chambers beginning an inning for the first time tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Challenged her there, kept it just far enough away.
Well, and you think that pitch is down in the zone, and you got the swing and miss, but we've seen Rachel Roop hit balls at her toes over the fence. Chambers paints the outside edge again,
And this 2,500 plus at the Jane erupts.
Chambers feeding off that emotion from the home crowd. Look at how tightly she gets the spin on the ball, catches the corner. What a huge out for Oregon.
I think she's found her spot.
I mean, this is a seasoned veteran in the circle. I mean, no moment's too big for her. Kind of been there, done that over the years. Really elevating right now in this big moment.
Liberty got down 2-0. Come back to tie here. It's in the 7th. Chambers paints the outside corner again to the right-handed hitter. Grad transfer from Cal State Fullerton in her first year in this program. In a huge spot. Crowd wanted it.
Well, she's been living on the outside corner to the right-handed hitters. Nice frame by Cox, just outside.
Slow roller out to second base. Up with it. The throw's there by Jones. 2 gone in the Liberty top of the 7th.
A little bit of a defensive swing there, and that's what happens when the right-handed batters are seeing that same location, same area. When they're looking for it, it's got such good movement on it. That ball not hit with a lot of pace, and you can't say enough about just the tempo and the tone Stacey Chambers has set here for Oregon in the top of the 7th.
Chambers pitching with some extra juice here. The DP hit all 0 for 2 with a walk in the first inning. Two strikes on Hidholt.
She's had a lot of success working the outer half of the plate, both righties and lefties. Look for her to throw that curveball in the outer half.
Chambers got her degree from Fullerton in psychology. She's working on her master's degree in prevention science. I have no idea what that is, but she's trying to prevent Liberty from reaching base here.
Well, that's a setup pitch right there. We've seen her work down in the zone almost every pitch, little change of speeds. She says, I'm going to show you I can go upstairs too. So now that just gives Hinault something else to think about. And I think we're going to see that bread and butter pitch on the outer half again, that curveball.
Hinault quickly fell behind 0-2. She's gotten it back to 2-2. Fouled off a good pitch there from Stacey Chambers. This crowd hungry for that third out. Went to the off-speed pitch. The change was definitely low, and laid off on it and has gotten it to a 3-2 count.
Yeah, credit Henold here. Has battled all the way back, looking for a better pitch to hit here.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming right here. That's to left field. Kai Lushar waits on it. Down in order in the 7th. Go the Flames. 8, 9, and 1 scheduled for the Ducks, who can win it with a run in the bottom half. Well, the Ducks having the time of its life. I've been coming here for a lot of years for regionals, supers, regular season, and the crowd is always great. They have come out enforcing it tonight like you would expect for this type of game. Game 1, best of 3. Eugene Super Regional tied at 2 going to the bottom of the 7th. Batters. First pitch swing and hot shot, one hopper, the throw. Byram makes the play. A lot of heat on Byram tonight with avoided shortstop with Watley, and I tell you what, she's answered the bell. That was a huge play right there.
And every play she makes, that confidence grows, that comfortability grows. Locked in. She's been a difference maker tonight for Liberty.
Shaw bunting here, bunts it foul. And that's a high leverage play for Byram. If you don't make it, the place goes absolutely berserk, and now the potential winning runs on base. Escobar threw 60 pitches through the first 3 innings. She didn't throw 21 in the first, but the last 3 innings, she has been very economical. An 8-pitch 4th, an 8-pitch 5th, a 10-pitch 6th inning. It has saved some bullets for her. She's going to throw her 90th pitch of the game here. And a play at second base, a little slip by Woodard, but keeps her feet and throws out Shaw.
You think about this Oregon offense. One of the best in the country. They come in 4th in the country in scoring. And if you're 4th in the country in scoring, it means you can hit throughout the lineup. And you look up, and Oregon only has 4 hits in this game. Just an outstanding job so far from Escobar, and the defense playing well behind her.
Escobar has set down 10 of the last 11 Oregon hitters. The lineup turns over to the top. Kai Lushar, 2 hits. I have a chat with third base coach Sam Martin. Bunt base hit in the first, RBI triple in the third. Popped out last time up to short.
Lushar so good at using the ground, and Liberty knows that, playing in tight. Look for Lushar to really bounce the ball off the dirt. Something where she can use her speed. I mean, the last time up, she hit the ball in the air, and those are the worst 3 words for any slap hitter. I got it. It means you hit it in the air, and that's not what she wants to do. She wants to use the ground, whether it's a bunt, slap. Saw her power slap for the triple earlier. That's usually not the extra base hits, but she really needs to use the ground.
Well, the stolen base leader in the nation just reached their 3rd hit of the game, representing the potential winning run at first.
Lushar with just great barrel control. This pitch is up in the zone, and she stays strong with her barrel. Gets it on plane early and is able to flare it out into left field. And what a great opportunity for Luchar here. And no surprise, we're going to see a visit from Casey Fagan, the pitching coach, not only just to get the energy a little bit out of the crowd right now, as you can just feel that it's palpable. And, you know, something we don't see as much anymore in our game is a pitch out. And in this situation, I would love to see a pitch out the first 2 pitches. And again, you set yourself up, all right, now you're 2-0 against one of the best hitters. But at least one of the first 2 pitches to throw a pitch out, because you know that Kai Luchar is just itching to get into scoring position.
Well, the pinch runner leg stole second base in the first, but other than that, that's been the only, if you want to even call it an attempt, they basically just conceded second base to her. And obviously, that's a different story with the Luchar sisters. Here's now Kedry with 2 outs. Her older sister Kai, 58 of 65 in steals. Kedry's 0 for 2 tonight with a walk in the first inning. There she goes. Throw to second, head first. Ball's loose, he finds it, but good play by Madby, the center fielder, to back up and help Woodard, who just got a glove on it to keep it from going into the outfield. Well, guess who's back out of the dugout here? Dot Richardson. She's going to challenge this to see if she left early.
Well, she's got one left in her pocket.
She does.
Right? She's got one left in her pocket. Why not?
And the one she used earlier on Kai Luchar, we thought was a fool's errand, but it turned out to be a huge play in this game. Otherwise, the game's over right now.
I think
wow.
they're looking at that same thing.
Deja vu all over again with her foot lifting up and then replanting on the base. Is this going to happen a second time, Carol? Right here.
Well, you know, credit to Liberty for doing a little bit of film study here on Kai Luchar and just her footwork. I mean, who knows? She might have been doing it all season long. We haven't had a chance to really take a look at that. But this time, to me, I'm trying to see if her entire foot actually comes off the base. When she was at third, it was very evident.
It came off again.
Looks to me like it does.
It did replant. So in the first inning, this was a squeeze bunt. You'll see the foot come up and replant before Escobar throws the ball. But the way the Pittsburgh Review Center, they went, to the best of our knowledge, Carol, strictly by the book, which the book does not specify whether or not replanting before the pitch is delivered is legal or not.
Yeah, there's no way to reestablish, even though you lifted your foot up and you reestablish, that's not in there. And we clearly see that again. And in this situation, it would be inning over.
Yes, and headed to extra innings.
Headed to extras.
Well, with the outcome of the first being what it is, you would think we're going to have the same outcome here, but I'm a little gun shy after going so hard on one side that the first inning it turned out to go the other.
It's a very unique situation. It's a very unique situation. You don't see that often, where there's that little bit of a lift and then a push off.
Well, might this create a conversation in the offseason to clarify this rule, whether this is being accurately assessed or needs to be adjudicated? Let's find out. Here we go.
At the first review, the ruling on the field is not changed.
Dot Richardson has now twice successfully used a challenge. That is going to be our first question for Dot tomorrow. Is this something that you found on tape that you could exploit? Because she has twice in 2 huge spots tonight. Remarkable. Hey, we're headed to extras in Eugene. You look at the left side, you look at the right. These are the two different instances with Kylu Shar. First inning on the left side, 7th there on the right. And if Liberty somehow wins this game, it is directly going to be related to Dot Richardson apparently noticing the style of Kylu Shar when she leaves a base of lifting her foot, putting it back on the base, and then pushing off. But using this in the rule book to have her called out for leaving early.
And both times went to video review, and they were key moments in this game without a doubt. Took the first run of the game off the board. In the bottom of the 7th, what looked like a successful steal to get Bouchard into scoring position is wiped off the board. Both video reviews, I mean, you can't have a better use of those. Now they are out of video reviews. Just noted as well.
Well, we're into the 8th. Madry takes high ball 1. I don't think I have ever seen 2 challenges used by a head coach more effectively in a bigger spot ever than what I've seen Don Richardson pull off here tonight. It's the only reason the game is still going on. To first, fair ball. Madry is out as Maake steps on first base.
Any little edge you can have when you get to this moment. I mean, you can't play average softball first and foremost. You have to elevate your level of play, but the little things that you notice, and then the timing of when to be able to use those. I mean, you're absolutely right, Mark. Just key moments in this ball game. And you go into tomorrow, and you don't think Kylu Shar is going to be thinking about that a little bit and working on that, let's say, so to speak. But that's not easy to do as well when you are, you know, you've been running the leading off a certain way your entire season.
So it goes around, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the first time it happened in the first inning, you're thinking, well, maybe Dot just threw out a challenge and just kind of stumbled into that when the foot came off the base. Now I'm convinced this is something that she has noticed and has now used successfully twice in this game. One-two count on Dorr. Got a piece of our plate umpire at dial. And Cox giving the plate umpire a little time by going out to the mound. I'm sure Emma learned that from a very early age. Her dad, Darren Cox, was a pro catcher and spent some time in the big leagues with the Expos. And Dial says he's ready to go again, and here's the 1-2 pitch. Game in the 8th. Well, out of play. Texas has scored in the 10th. Clemson batting. Texas leading 7-5, and that is now final. There'll be a game 3 in Austin tomorrow.
I mean, these games across the country, we have one here tonight in extra innings, but just so much parity and so much at stake for these teams. Every pitch matters, every at-bat matters, and we can feel it here tonight at the Jane as well.
Another one twisting left side and hits the support pole. So ours the only game still in progress here, the Super Regional round. Well, technically day 2 because of the 2 series that started yesterday, but day 1 for most of the series. Paige Dorr, who's from nearby, but maybe 10-minute drive up the road, Coburg, Oregon. There's a couple of hits tonight, 2 for 3, battling again here. Ninth pitch of the at-bat.
A good at-bat from Dorr. She has fouled off a lot of pitches, showing good plate discipline, and worked herself into a full count.
Ground ball to first. Maake steps on the bag. Once again, 3 unassisted. 2 outs. Bases are empty for the third baseman of the Flames, Rachel Crane. Couple of walks and a sac bunt. So no official time at bat so far tonight for Crane. Strike. Stacey Chambers, the lefty in the circle now for the Ducks, has come in and retired all 6 batters she's faced to this point. Floated over Sinicki and in to left field. So Crane now does have a base hit. And is on base for a 3rd time thanks to the 2 walks as well.
Even gets a little jammed up here. She gets a curveball on the inner half of the plate, but she gets just enough of it. Watch this pitch right off the handle. Good things happen when you swing. Liberty has a base runner.
Flames are going to run with Oob. It's actually Aubrey Norris who comes out. So Norris runs for Crane, representing the go-ahead run with 2 outs. Flames catcher, Savannah Jesse. Liberty's left 8 runners on base tonight, Carol. They have been very close to having that so-called big inning, multi-run inning. Now Sam Martyr's come out for the Ducks. Talking with Matt Dial. They're looking at the lineup card here. We've had some really odd things happen in this game, Carol. So this has to be about the pinch runner, isn't it?
I'm pulling up the lineup card from earlier because, you know, sometimes, again, I do not know for sure, but there may be a wrong number on a player, and you know, there's a lot that can be happening here. So trying to find the original lineup card.
I can't think of anything else this could be. And it requires having the actual lineup card that Dot Richardson turned in here. Was Aubrey Norris on that lineup card? She was. Now they're playing her out. You know, someday when they want to test people who have been around the game of softball for decades on how much knowledge they really have of all the rules, they're going to show this game right here, because we've had some odd things, and we're going to the bottom of the 8th, still 2-2. All right, Carol, so we've confirmed, you have confirmed Aubrey Norris was on Dot's lineup card. So that's not the issue. And it's, in your mind, what are the possible things that could have happened here to have her called out? Well, sometimes, you know, as a coach, you, instead of Norris going in for Crane, which would have been the correct substitution, you could have said, hey, she's going in for Dorr or Jesse, a different player. So they actually went in the wrong spot in the batting order. Or there's a lot of things with the actual lineup. How it said the number, they could have said number so-and-so for number so-and-so, and the number was incorrect, because a lot of times that's what happened. The number is incorrect. Well, if you say 10 and it was 11, that is an incorrect, that is an illegal substitution. So had to be something with the lineup card and the way Dot Richardson entered Aubrey Norris. And I'm just getting word that it was a misnumber, a misrepresentation of the number that is the reason for her being called out. So being the detective you are, Carol, you were on the right trail of one of the two things that it could be, and it was misrepresentation of the number. I mean, I love putting together puzzles and like solving logic issues and problems and like thinking things through. My brain has been, I know all of our brains have been tested tonight, but yes, the substitution error. But, you know, again, credit to Oregon. Credit to Oregon. We've been crediting Liberty for, you know, just the leaving the base early, the picking the foot up. They've been on top of that. Oregon, credit to them for making sure they knew which number it should have been. Kedry Luchar, base hit center field, leading off the bottom of the 8th with her first hit of the Super Regional. Well, this is the 4th at-bat for Luchar off Escobar. She keeps her barrel up higher this time. She still beats it into the ground, but she does get on top of it. The ball has enough on it right up the middle. Ake did not go around on the appeal. Well, Kedry Luchar doesn't have the number of steals her sister Kai does. Kedry has 27, but she's not been caught stealing this year. To the backstop, she was running with the pitch. And there's the potential winning run in scoring position for the Ducks. Luchar definitely taking off with the pitch. Oregon staying very aggressive in extra innings. The ball does get to the backstop. But Oregon once again finds themselves the winning run, this time in scoring position. Well, you mentioned it earlier after the end of the last inning for Oregon that Dot doesn't have any more challenges. So even if she wanted to challenge right there, she cannot. Well, and it was not Kai Luchar, you know. Yes. Kedry Luchar. It was a Luchar, but it wasn't Kai. Little different style, you know, but. I'm just saying, just rolling the dice in a key situation here. For sure, for sure. I mean, whoever comes out on top of this game, it has been a lesson in perseverance, strategy, all the things. 2-0 count on Mayake. Potential winning run at second here in the 8th for Oregon. High fly. Deep center. Madry back and makes the catch. Well deep enough for the speed of Kendry Lushar to take the 60 feet to third. A productive out for Mayake. And the potential winning run is 60 feet away for the Ducks.
Boy, Mayake just got underneath that ball, or it would have been back-to-back games with the walk-off. Still have the opportunity to do so, but a productive at-bat for the freshman as the winning run is now 60 feet away.
Paige Sinicki, the hitter for the Ducks. Escobar now over 100 pitches into this outing, facing Sinicki, who has walked and been thrown out bunting and flight out.
Well, you know, that's still a pretty efficient outing for Escobar. We're into extra innings here, and she just went over the 100 pitch mark. By comparison, Oregon's thrown 154 pitches collectively in this game.
Escobar misses high, 2 balls and a strike. Obviously, you got a couple of bases open here if you're Liberty. You don't have to give in to Sinicki here. That's ball 4, and the hero from the last game played by the Ducks on this field going to have a chance to win this game. Des Patman, who had a 3-run homer to walk off Stanford and send the Ducks to the Super Regional up here.
Well, that pitch did not miss by much. You saw a little bit of emotion, frustration from Escobar, who typically is very poised, very calm in the circle. Big moment for Patman.
They allow Sinicki to take second base. That's the run that means everything right there. Kendry Lushar at third. Hold it foul.
Well, there is a base open right now, so something to consider.
At the catcher, Cox on deck. For the second consecutive game, Des Patman provides the game-winning hit, and the Ducks take game 1.
What a game for Oregon. Really had to persevere through a lot of adversity in this game. It ends with the same result as it did just a few days ago, a walk-off victory and a win in game 1 of this Super Regional.